even in San Diego, we the people want a vacation too. So this is where I would go to vacation. I found this place years ago, and when I finally got to it, I took advantage of every time I can get to this place with the rock view, the water and the mountains, walking around town, exploring it. There will be pictures of that on the way. This is where I would go to get away from San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and the big city life. And I could have had the chance to live here if I did more research, but I didn't, which I sometimes slap myself in the face about, because this is an area I would like. A small town with less than 40,000 people with a view of the mountains and the ocean. And San Luis Obispo wasn't too far away. I remember when I did a couple of delivery orders here when I was there in October, heading up to Petaluma, when I got my apartment in San Diego not long after. It's another story in between that. But here's the footage of what it looked like when I first got there in April 2019, with the sun coming up after the fog evaporating. It looked like another world. This is nostalgia right here to me. I remember hearing the birds chirp and the seals clarking, and my eyes being so tired, so I took every video I can get as I wasn't fully awake, including the pictures. It looked like a different world. This is where I go for breakfast, with a nice view of the area, and it was a great place to go out on a date. It was just a great time to have a breakfast, coffee with that view, and the food was less than $15 at the time. Me having coffee. This was outside of the hotel. It was such a scenic view with the green mountains. It looked like Hawaii. And I was born in Hawaii. It looks a lot like Honolulu in this scene right here. A little bit anyway. Very scenic, very relaxing and wide open space. No cities and houses around. This was in town. Look at those gas prices. That was 2020, March 4th. This is the town. This was a Mexican restaurant I go to have margaritas. This was more of the town. So there were no footages of me driving in the area, so I have pictures, which is coming up here in a second, after exploring the town right here. And it was just, whoa. As you head up to the mountain, you just see the nature. Like, this picture and video I have here is just nostalgia to me. It looks like a painting come to life to me. And right when I took this picture, before the video was taken, it's still a timeless classic that my Google result that I dreamed about to come to came to life. This was a trail to the beach or the ocean or the bay, I don't know which. I didn't walk far enough to get to the end. Why I didn't, I don't really know. I think it had something to do with not having enough time to get everything done, because I think I had to get back to San Diego within a couple hours, something like that. I was the adrenaline keep rushing person. I would get up early as I could, and I would do everything as fast as I could. That's why there's so much footage. It looks like it's done in a day, but it actually was the whole year. And this was like me at the very end of the trail, and I was turning around. And this was an area called Montana Diuro State Park or something like that. And I remember before the Craigslist scam, which was June 2020, one of the last footages I had of this area, this was the area I first went there on that day. I had to be quick. But the footage after this one was a week before the Craigslist scam, and I was climbing halfway towards this mountain, getting a view of that. I heard my phone actually fell on the ground. Luckily, it was one of my older phones, not the one I'm recording it with. But the people were really nice. They climbed up and gave it back to me. And I took this picture not long before coming down. This is one of the most iconic areas and footages I've had in my entire life. This is also where my default picture was taken, right before the sun setting. This area is a timeless classic to me. I still remember the sun coming down. It was getting chilly, and seeing the sun come over the ocean, the tide coming up with the rocks around it. The guy over there in that jacket was who took the picture, by the way, that you will see in a second. 5 years, same picture, default. This was when I had drinks in the park. I'm not positive that was legal, but we did it. I don't think anybody gave a fuck. This was the moon coming up on the mountain behind us. And as the sun was coming, the moon was coming up. Why did I say sun? And look at that moon. It was as bright as the sun. That might be why I'm thinking that. This is Los Osos Valley Road on the other side towards San Luis Obispo. It it looks like another planet. I remember when I was at the gas station not far outside of San Luis Obispo. I can show it right here, and it was just another world after being up in Northern California and now seeing it look more like Southern California as you go. It was just a fun place to be. I remember it was just another world. It was paradise. But I'm still glad I chose San Diego, though. I mean, that's where I got my experience and character from. That really was just a vacation spot for me. Hope you enjoyed this video and the song behind it.